And I would like to start off by just doing a quick recap of some of the key accomplishments that you've achieved over recent times, which have been discussed during this morning's discourse. And I'll kick off with GDP, which is growing at a healthy rate. Last year, we grew at 4%, notwithstanding the challenges we faced, whether it's drought or the power shortages. So that is notable. And you saw from the ST's presentation, over the medium term, over the next 3 years, we project to grow at 6% GDP, which again is respectable, given the headwinds that we're all aware of at the global level, whether it's restrictive trade policies, climate risks, and other geopolitical challenges. Debt is another important one that has been flagged here. A lot of progress has been made, as ST said. Over 90% of our debt has now been restructured, which is a big deal, with only $5.7 billion yet to be restructured. And as ST says, that is being negotiated in good faith. So we wish ST and team all the very best of luck there. The other point I would add, which we don't spend enough time on, is really just staying the course with IMF program. It sounds easy, but this requires dedication and focus. And want to congratulate the Minister of Finance and team for staying the course, because that program has been very important for us as a country, for us to achieve our debt restructure, ensuring that we have the short and medium-term liquidity to see us through. Mining has been another one. Output is trending upwards, which is commendable. Growth last year was over 800,000 metric tons. And in fact, for this year, as we head, we might even touch 1 million metric tons, which would be the very first time that as a country we hit that milestone. So a significant achievement. The exchange rate is another important dynamic here. It has improved significantly, almost 20% strengthening of the currency over the past 6 months, as we heard from the presentation here, underpinned by fiscal discipline, the improvement in the investment climate, but also growth in the mining output. So really, there are many positives here. I would also add what Nicola said from Luce on the capital markets, where we are seeing positive trends, notwithstanding the low market cap to GDP ratio of, I think, something sub 20%. Many positives, without a doubt. But that said, this begs the question, is the job done? And really, the resulting answer is it's a no. Deputy Governor made reference to this, but also the Minister and the team. There's still work to be done, and I want to flag a few points that were perhaps touched upon. One of them is, even though our GDP has been growing at a healthy rate of averaging 5%, we're still seeing widespread poverty. Our GDP per capita is still hovering around $1,250 per head, and it's been broadly stagnant. This is a challenge, clearly, and I guess it's linked to the rate at which our GDP is growing, because although we're growing at 5-6%, really in reality, given our population growth rate of 3.5%, we still have some headroom to go to make a real impact. And we look forward to a time, and I've got no doubt that with the policies being implemented, this would come, where we begin to grow at 8, maybe 10, maybe even 12%. Those percentage growth would clearly see an impact on poverty reduction. Inflation is another one that was highlighted. It's trending downwards, but it's still in the double digits, and the target for Bank of Zambia is 6 to 8%. But again, we heard very clearly here from the Bank of Zambia, from the governor, the deputy governor, that they're doing all they can to bring those rates down. I would also like to say I was interested in what Mr. Saga said on this front, in terms of a potential solution where you securitize the NAPSA funds in collaboration with the banks. And maybe that's something that might have to be pursued further with NAPSA, Mr. Saga, and the ministry and so on, because that might help bring down the interest rate, I think is what you were trying to suggest. So really, in summary, fantastic work done so far, a good foundation laid for the future, but still work to be done going forward. With that, distinguished guests, I would like to end by expressing our heartfelt gratitude to the Minister and team for always being open, but also investing their energies and time in ensuring that we set the economy on a sustainable growth trajectory. Thank you very much, and have a good afternoon.